Hello. So I wanted to share this experiment of mine that came about because I was looking at building a pond that I could swim in, and it had a bog, and then I figured I should practice on a smaller scale instead of trying to dig a really big hole and find out that my bog didn't work. So for some reason I came up with this. It's essentially, let's see if we can, no, let's do it up the top. So I built this out of plexiglass, and of course oak, as you can see, so that it wouldn't fall apart inside. And it's got rocks. It's got a mixture of large rocks, as you can see, plus some of those clay things. I can't think of the name of them, sorry. Plus some small rocks. And I've got, as you can see, a bunch of plants in here, mostly low light plants. And I did put the fish tank up against a window, but behind that window is actually 4 inches of insulation so that the fish tank could go here. But it's a 29-gallon fish tank, and I'm using an air pump because that's what that was used for the pond, so I could see if it works. I've got 2 air pumps going, and that's simply so that I can have the flow over here for oxygen into the tank. Okay, so, and once I started planting things, I couldn't stop there. I had to go for the tank as well. So as you can see, now this isn't, I wouldn't call professionally aquascaped at all. It's rocks that I found at our reservoir, or along the river that I put in there, and then plants that I picked up at the plant store. I've got a basic heater in here. I've attached a waterproof light underneath the planter, that I also have this one on top because the underneath one wasn't giving off enough light. As you can see, I've got 2 mollies in there. I've got 5 neon tetras. Down here we've got a really cool catfish. I don't know if you can see him or not. Oh, look, he's coming out. Okay. And way back in the corner is a swordtail. Here he comes. Yep, he knew I was talking about him, so he comes out. So they're all getting along fairly well. The tank is completely cycled and doing wonderfully at this point. Of course, you know, we had some hiccups because I haven't done a fish tank in 10 years. And then to do this experiment, so I did kind of end up cheating with my experiment. It's not just the plants. I did put, once I was having problems with nitrites, I did put a sponge in here. And one of these air filters has a sponge down at the bottom to collect some of the crap before it goes up. And then I have some sponges here. And those little sponges ended up fixing the nitrite issue that I had. But I'm very proud of my tank. I think it looks really cool. I'm now addicted to fish. I just thought you should know. These columns off the planter are, you know, to hold it, make sure it doesn't fall into the tank. If I were to, so the logic of putting the planter inside the tank was to be able to use the air pump, to pump air into it. And again, that's because that's the way some of the pond filters were working, so I wanted to experiment with that. If I were to do it again, I would use a regular pump and pull this. I'd probably rest this part up out of it. But I think it looks pretty cool the way it is. There's a lot of hiding. And really, yeah. So that is my DIY aquaponics 29-gallon tank. That all came about because I was looking at ponds to swim in. Thought I should practice that on a short-term, on a smaller scale. And this is what I came up with. I'm going to try it again using a slightly smaller tank and a filter and a bog filter essentially that goes around the tank. I'll show you that when I get it done. But you can see the fish are happy. Swordtail seems to hide for some reason in that corner. Let's see if I can get the... Can we see him? Oh, there he is. He's so cool. All right. Thank you.